Hey yogis, it's Sina here, the Yoga Apothecary. Welcome to another EPIDOSE of your 20 or so flow when you're tight on time but looking for breath and movement. So grab your towel and some water and maybe some blocks. And I'll meet you on the mat. Alright, so we're going to get started in the 20 or so flow. As I mentioned, you may want to have some blocks handy. I thought we'd use them periodically in the sequencing just to show you what it's like to use props and help to lengthen in your postures, breath, and movement. But we're going to begin in child's pose. So knees can come wide or narrow, whatever feels more comfortable to you. And actually grab for the block straight away. And just maybe see what it's like. Some options here in this child's pose are going to be to have your tricep onto the blocks, and maybe the hands can come above your head with the fingers interlaced, or maybe simply extend your arms long on the mat with either one block under your forehead or two blocks for your arms so that you could come a little higher. So for folks who have a discomfort coming lower to the mat in a child's pose, you could simply use some blocks. And again, if neither's for you, just start on your back. We'll be here for a brief amount of time, unlike our normal longer sequencing, to just settle the mind and tune into your breath, tune into the body, being more mindful, lengthening the breath, noticing the points of the body making contact, focusing there first, your attention, and then moving that attention to the points that don't. As you begin lengthening this breath with a deeper inhale, filling up, spreading ribs, creating space into the low belly, and then maybe you sigh it out as you're there on your mat, releasing the week, the day, the to-do lists, setting aside this time for your practice. And then we come to the Ujjayi breath, where we inhale through the nose, seal the lips, and exhale through your nose, constricting the back of the throat. Now, if you need to be here longer, you can always pause the video. Staying longer in this time for integration of the practice. Otherwise, as we move forward, we start to rise up, setting the blocks aside, but not too far away. So we can incorporate them. You may want to flank your mat. And come into tabletop pose, beginning here. Stacking the wrists under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, crown is long, neutral spine. You'll inhale, cow pose, drop the belly, open your heart space, gaze up. With a soft bend in your elbows, and as you grip this mat, exhale to cat. Rounding through the spine, creating a C shape there. Maybe a soft sway from side to side. Moving through another cat and cow as slow as you need to go. Welcoming some dynamic movement again here. Maybe a sway of your neck, your head, and come back to tabletop pose. And then from here, we'll tuck our toes and lift to the hips for the first downward dog of the practice. Take up space on the mat, either with the feet narrow or wider, yogi's choice. And begin to pedal the dog, lifting one foot and then the other. Taking an opportunity to spread the fingers wide, create an L through the thumb and first finger. Offering your heart space closer to your thighs. As you come to a still down dog, ears line up with the biceps, grip the mat. Imagine pushing the mat away from you and dragging the mat behind you. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, pause here in bear pose. Offer your heart space closer to your thighs, rise up on the balls of the toes, and push the mat away. Inhale, ripple forward to our first plank pose. Dome shape the back, but soften through the shoulder blades, grip the mat, and draw the heels behind you. Exhale, downward facing dog. A slight adjustment perhaps with the feet. Maybe you pedal for a moment again. Still the dog. Take a breath. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Look to the top of the mat, and we'll slowly make our way there. For a ragdoll forward fold. Again, this is another opportunity for the block. It can help you keep a soft bend in the knees and maybe a soft sway from side to side. Maybe you graze your fingertips directly on your mat. You're also welcome to hug your front body. Just finding a little bit of movement here. Taking whatever option of the choices I gave you, or try something you wish to do. From here, we'll inhale, half lift. Hands come to the shins, shoulders at the height of the hips. Gaze just over the nose, and imagine your shoulder blades are coming into your back pockets. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, but dig through the heels the entire time you come up. And palms will come to heart center. Samastitihi, to set an intention for the remainder of this shorter flow. Inhale, reach the arms up. From here, take the left hand to the right wrist. Inhale, lengthen at center through the thoracic spine. And exhale, side bend to the left. Notice if the right foot wants to get lighter. Can you root it down to the mat? Perhaps hug the inner thighs, lengthen at center. Opposite hand to wrist. First we lengthen, and then we side bend now to the right. Inhale, lengthen, draw to center. As you exhale and release, we take a forward fold, perhaps with a soft bend in the knees. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale again, root to rise. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, the arms come forward and up. From here, bend to the right elbow. The right palm is going to come between your scapula, between the shoulder blades. And you see my left palm is on the top of my right elbow, opening up through the shoulders, yet cinching through the thoracic spine, and maybe a squeeze of those glutes. Inhale, release and reach. Maybe you gaze up. And as you exhale, we switch the palm to scapula, and the right palm is now guiding with a shoulder opening feeling for this left side body. While we still cinch, hug the inner thighs and squeeze the glutes. Inhale, center, lengthen, maybe you look, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, release. Tent the fingertips. Step the right leg back on your mat. Lower the right knee and toes to posit your thigh. To dig and drag this left heel back and tuck your right knee forward. Hug the inner thighs. Sweep the arms up, Anjaneyasana, and soften through the shoulder blades as if the palms touch. Then from here, we're going to grab for the wrist again. We're going to take the left to the right wrist, lengthen it up, and challenge our balance with a side bend left. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, bend the right elbow for the shoulder stretch, left palm on top. Reach it up, extend. Tent the fingertips, slide it slightly back. We're going to take a half split with our blocks. So start to sink this left heel to the back of the mat. We take the arch from the back. Line up the second toe with the nose. If you need a soft bend in the front leg for your hamstrings, please take that. And you can also place your blocks higher, this being the lower level. Maybe you prefer it up, your choice. And pause here, hold. Feel that lengthening in the spine, drawing the left hip back. Then shift it forward. Again, we'll shift our blocks. Lift the right knee and toes. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. As you exhale, step the right foot in between the palms. Lower this left knee and toes. Take a moment to meet at the thigh. Dig and drag the right heel back and tuck the left knee forward. Hug the inner thighs, reach it up when you're ready. As you exhale, we'll cactus the arms, making their way down the back. Interlace the hands. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Try not to entirely lock the elbows. Maybe you gaze up to challenge your balance. One more breath here. Then lean it forward, release. Palms plant, lift the left knee and toes. Step up, forward fold. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise. Interlace the fingers. First finger points up like a steeple, breath in. As you exhale, we'll side bend right. Inhale, draw it center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, release. 10th of finger. Step our left leg back and lower the left knee and toes. Make your way to the thigh. Dig and drag the right heel back. Tuck the left knee forward. When you're ready, hug the inner thighs. Arms come forward and up, Anjaneyasana. Now the right hand grabs for the left. Lengthen at center. Hug those inner thighs as you challenge your balance, side bend right. Inhale, lengthen center. Bend the left elbow, right comes on top. Open through the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen, reach. Exhale, tent. Grab for your blocks if you'd like to, and you have them. Sink it slightly back, half split. Left toes right toes towards the nose. Dig and drag the right heel to the back of the mat. Maybe a soft bend in the right knee, if you need it for the hamstrings, and find something deeper here. Shift it forward. Release your blocks. Plant the palms, lift the left knee and toes. Step back, downward facing dog. Left leg reaches, inhale. And as you exhale, step the left foot in between the palms. We come back down to lower the right knee and toes. We find our way to the thigh and to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, cactus. Our way down. Interlace the hands, breath in. Draw the shoulder blades back. Maybe the gaze comes up. One more breath. And exhale, release to tent the fingertips. Lift the right knee and toes. We step it up to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, lengthen, reach. And exhale, swan dive with your cactus arms to the earth. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, release. Tent the fingertips, then plant the palms, bend the knees, step back to plank. Pause here in plank. And exhale, lower knees, thighs, unhook the toes, chest lowers. We'll take a moment here for a baby cobra. When we head there in a moment, you're going to peel your heart space up, roll your shoulder blades back. Imagine your hands are drawing behind you and press the tops of the feet into the mat. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, baby cobra. Inhale here. Exhale, release. As you inhale, either make your way to tabletop into downward facing dog or head to a push-up and then downward facing dog. Take a moment to have a falling out breath here. And exhale, release. Yes. Inhale, right leg lifts. And as you exhale, right knee to right elbow, give it a tap. Inhale it up. As you exhale, we come left. Inhale it up. As you exhale, step the right foot in between the palms and pause. Grab for your blocks. We're going to take pyramid pose. And in order to do so, you may want to step your back foot slightly in to narrow the distance between your feet. As you start to straighten your front leg long, perhaps still with a soft bend in the knee, your blocks may be at this length, or you may want them even higher. You can also always have your hands at heart center. If having your hands directly on your mat does not work for your body and causes any discomfort, we're going to hold here for a few cycles of breath, and I want you to focus on drawing this right hip back. As we lengthen through our spine, holding here. Finding something deeper, checking in with your stance. Hold. If you wish to find some movement between your low lunge and pyramid, you can also do that if you don't want to hold. One more cycle here. Then start to bend the front knee. You might want to adjust your back foot as you'll come up for crescent lunge. Dig and drag the right heel back. Tuck the left knee or the ball of the left foot forward. Soften through the shoulders, palms face one another. Breath in. And as you exhale, we'll open up for a warrior two pose. Right knee over the right ankle. Root through the pinky edge of this left foot. Imagine your heels could touch. Scissor the glutes and thighs. One more breath. Stacking our skull down through our hips. Then flip the right palm up. Inhale, lengthen, reach. Exhale, reverse. Keeping the bend in the right knee. Right hand is coming up and over. Spreading through the ribs on the right side body. Left hand to the low back or thigh. Even feel the stretch through your right thumb. As you exhale, we'll come to side angle. Again, you might like to use a block. Your hand can rest as the knee bends, either onto the thigh or to a block. Trying to make the arm resist the leg and the leg to the arm. You can also move this to the outside of the leg instead of inside, but make it resist, stacking shoulders, creating space. Now, from here, you also have an invitation for a half bind, where you cross the left arm to the back or thigh. Pause here. You want to take a full bind? You can also do that. You might want to move the block. Snaking the right arm under to maybe interlace the fingers. Stacking shoulders. A towel can also be used here to create more space between the hands. One more breath. Exhale, release back to side angle. Maybe you pause with your block. One last time here. Take a breath. Then inhale, reverse triangle. Right leg lengthens, maybe a soft bend in the knee. Right arm comes up and over. Even through the thumb. We'll exhale to triangle pose, again for the block. Back foot can come slightly in. And then tilt the torso so it makes its way closer to this front leg as the arms T. And then with the exhale, you're welcome to keep a soft bend as we come to triangle pose. Shoulders are still stacking, opening up this left side body. One more breath. Then look to the top of the mat. Hand can come to hip, bend the knee. And you're welcome to travel with the block, moving it off at the top of the mat. And then start to bring the back foot in, looking for the block just to the right of the foot. And opening up to half moon. Toes opening and pointing to the left side of the mat. Leaving your hand on the left hip. Or maybe you open up the hand to the clouds. Breathe. My back just popped, you guys. Then bend the right knee. Softly land it. We'll come to a warrior two. Windmill the arms down to the mat. Take a step back to plank. Hold here in the plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ooh, yeah. That was a lot of shoulder opening. Core, hips, had it all in there. Take a falling out breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift the left leg up and back. As you exhale, we bring it to the left elbow. Inhale it up. We exhale over to the right. Inhale it up. And exhale the footsteps between the palms. Grab for those blocks. As we take the opportunity with the blocks here or lower to snake the back foot in and hold in a pyramid pose. So whether you leave them higher or a little lower, or like I said, bring your hands to heart center. Play with the feet, finding the length and drawing the left hip back. And finding something deeper with each exhalation. And again, if you moved between a bent knee, low lunge into pyramid for some movement, take that again. Another breath. Then start to bend the knee. You might want to lengthen the back foot and start to rise. Arms come forward and up. We come to crescent. So drawing this left heel back, tucking the right knee or the ball of the right foot forward. Hug the inner thighs. Soften the shoulders, palms facing one another. One more breath. We'll exhale and open up to warrior two. Again, dig through the pinky edge of the right foot. Hug the inner thighs, squeeze the glutes, imagine your heels could touch, and then we want to stack the skull, shoulders, core, and hips. One line of energy and gaze over the left fingertips. Flip the left palm up, inhale, lengthen, reach, and reverse it. Lengthening through this left side body, even through the thumb of the left hand. Then we come to any variation of side angle, whether you used a block or not. I am today to show you what this is like. And you could either put the block inside or outside, but make the leg resist the arm. Breathe. And then you can move to that half bind, getting some shoulder opening further into this right side. Maybe you took the full bind, adjusting that block. You might need to. Aiming for the shoulder opening, trying not to collapse. Forward, breath here. Then come back to the block. Whoops. Find the balance. Pause. Inhale, reverse Trikonasana. Front leg lengthens. Feeling that stretch through the left side body and even this left thumb. Then we come to triangle pose. Tee the arms. You might want to turn your back heel slightly out. The torso is aiming from this front leg. A soft bend if you need to. And then we come on the exhale for triangle pose. Again, block is available. And then we can come to half moon. If you joined on the other side, start with the hand to hip. Bend the knee, knowing we have to travel the block. You might want to get that ready. And then start to shift your weight. Whoops. It's okay if you come out of it. Each day is a new day in yoga. Maybe you float. You're always welcome to have your hand on the mat. And then softly come out when you're ready. Come back to side angle pose. Pause here. Inhale, warrior two. One breath. Exhale, windmill the arms down to the mat to your lunge. Step the leg back to plank. Hold here in plank. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome job. Take a falling out breath. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the knees down to tabletop pose. And then from here, just cross one ankle behind the other and push your way to your bottom to bring your legs back under you. And we're going to roll back. So we're going to end this practice with a little bit of core. I should say more core. We're going to do two movements, extended bridge and a hollow rock, which is a great prep for handstand. So for extended bridge, let the legs come long on your mat, adjust as you need to. The feet are going to be flexed. You're going to be digging your heels into the mat. Arms are bent at the elbows. Knowing that to execute this movement, you're going to be pressing through your triceps, rooting your elbows and arms to the earth. Heels, like I said, and then for the movement, you squeeze the glutes and lift the booty off the mat, and we're going to hold that for 10. So take an inhale to prepare. Here we go. Exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Yes. Bend the knees, widen the feet to the edges of the mat. Maybe the knees knock at center for a moment, resting your hands wherever you wish. Tuning back to your breath. Open up the knees, extend the legs. For a hollow rock, you may choose to keep your arms forward, but a full hollow rock does require the arms to come above the head, just outside the ears, reaching with the fingers, pointed feet, toes reaching as well, and beginning to take the arch from the back, so sealing the space between the low back and the mat, and then begin to find this balancing movement of rocking. And I'm going to try and count to 10 as we do this. So if you're joining me, please do, but you could also just do knee tucks where you bring your knees to chest, and you could also do bridge, or you could skip this entirely, but here we go. Enough said. Reaching, flying, here we go. Lengthening up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees to chest. You did it, yogis. Rock it, rock it. We'll just quickly move through pigeon on our back with a twist and call it a wrap. Let the feet land. Extend the right leg up, stamp the ceiling, cross it over. Maybe this will be enough for you for a deep stretch with figure 4 pigeon. You can float it up and pause here. You can also move your hands up here, shin area, knee, and maybe a little bit of swaying or stay static. Then let the foot land, release the hands, cactus your arms for today, and as you're ready, let it drop. In this figure 4 twist, where your gaze can remain centered, or maybe you come to the right of the mat. Stay with the breath. You're welcome to shut your eyes. Using this time even to turn inward. Draw it up to center. We're released for the other side. Left leg reaches, stamp the ceiling. Cross it over, figure 4 pigeon. A guide to the side with the left palm. Maybe you moved it to floating it up, both feet flexed. And maybe you snaked it under and around the shin with a soft sway for just a moment here. Keeping the hips rooted. On your next exhale, release the fingers, cactus the arms, drop the right foot for a moment to the mat, and then exhale into the twist, and maybe a gaze comes left. Holding here for one more breath. Knowing you could always stay longer as your body may need. To come back to center, to draw the knees to the chest. A guide of a soft circle, perhaps in each direction for at least a cycle of breath. Reversing that. And then we meet in the true goal pose, as always, to our Shavasana. Releasing the heels, toes, shins, knees, and thighs. Rooting your hip points to the mat. Releasing through the core. Palms can be open to receive. Creating space. Rolling the shoulder blades to the back of the mat to create a shelf for your heart. Noticing any residual tension, even through the jaw, cheeks, into the backs of your eyes and brow. And if there remains any tension, can you release that through your fingers and toes? Shavasana. Since this is aimed to be a shorter flow, I'm not going to hold you here. But you can always pause and stay as long as your body needs to. Otherwise, just wiggle fingers and toes. Rotation of your wrists. Reach the arms above the head to take a good morning stretch. Maybe with those pointed toes with a deep inhale. And exhale. Draw the knees to the chest, maybe the hands to knees or shins or soles of your feet to make your way over to your favorite side to support yourself. Using your arm as a pillow for a brief moment to pause again, to thank yourself for coming to the mat, and to thank your body for what it just did for you in this practice. And then as you're ready, slowly work your way up to a seat. And joining me in our mat, We'll bring our hands to heart center, thumb to the breastbone to take a falling out breath in Sukhasana. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it release. Inhale the thumbs to third eye center, our center of intuition, where our thoughts are positive. We draw our thumbs down to the lips. May our words be kind. And the thumbs back to the chest for our hearts to be open. And bow. The light in me honors the light and beauty in the yogis who have joined for this practice, for I'm so forever grateful. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up and hope you'll subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested in our newsletter, head over to wellbeingelixir.org for our bi-monthly newsletter where you can learn how to live a more vibrant, happier life. See you next time. Namaste.